It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Time for the Texans happy hour. Yes, I do, friend of the show, CJ Stroud. I do have something to say. Welcome to the Texans Tailgate Talk, Texans Happy Hour. I hold on, look at that boy doing some different type of things. I bet you can't say that fast. I bet you can't say Texans Tailgate Talk, Texans Happy Hour. What's going on, y'all? Give me a second because I meant to write this down. I got some I seen on social media today that I'm definitely going to what's going on? They call me Mr. Nobody. Hey, look, I'm trying to hey, hold on. They call me Mr. Nobody. Let me see if I can do this. Hold on. Wait, it says that the comments should be able to come up on the side, right? Chat overlay, let's display live comments that Twitch may have specific guidelines. So make sure to view it positive. I'm just gonna see. I see the overlay here. Nope, that ain't it. Oh, there we go. Whoa, it's right there on the side, but I don't see they call me Mr. Nobody's though. I see Texans Tangents. I'm gonna leave that up on the side. Y'all see the little thing right here? Now I can see y'all comments coming up on the side. Let me see if I go. Let me see. I'm gonna go full screen. And then if I go full screen, let me see if I still see it. Once again, welcome to the Texans Happy Hour. I'm your host, Big Sarge. Make sure you follow me on the app formerly known as Twitter at Big Sarge Sports with the Z at the end. Follow me on the tick and the talk. Let me fix this thing. At Big Sarge Media. Make sure you are subscribed to the Texans Tailgate Talk, all one word, podcast and YouTube channel. Please help me get to 1,000 subscribers by the beginning of the regular season because I want to do something. Listen, let me tell y'all something. The 1,000 subscriber milestone means something to me because it's going to mean something to some other people. Just know that. Please, just trust me on this one. Please just trust me. Trust me on this. If I get to 1,000 subscribers before the regular season, oh my God. Oh, I can see it. What's up, HD? It's going to mean so much to me, and it's going to mean something to some other people as well. I'm just letting y'all know that up front. And make sure you subscribe to the Texas Tailgate Talk podcast and to the YouTube channel. Tuesday's podcast will be uploaded up here pretty soon, and it's I said that its familiarity will help CJ Stroud get acclimated to this new system by offensive coordinator. What's up, Hood Mania? This new offensive system that's going to be implemented by Nick Caley. And for those who subscribe to the Texans Tailgate YouTube channel, you've seen that I did come back and I did do what I promised. I promised you all that I was going to do a Texans happy hour on the show. On the channel, and I did that today. So this is the second happy hour. Hold on for a second, because it's been a long day for me. I did that show this morning. I recorded the podcast, and now I'm doing this because, well, one, I got time, and I like y'all a lot. So with that being said, that podcast was just, I'm going to need you all to make sure that you subscribe so you can hear what I say about how CJ could be successful this year in that Nick Caley system. I feel, not because I think that Nick Caley is going to call hell of a plays. It's not because I've never seen Nick Caley call a play. So I'm not one of them guys. I'm not going to be, let me fix this a little bit. Okay, there we go. I'm not going to be a hypocrite and be like, oh man, Nick Caley's system is going to be the best. I've never seen Nick Caley call one play, not in the NFL, not in college, not in high school, not on Madden, nothing. I've never seen him call a play. So I'm not going to be one of those guys who say, oh man, Nick Caley's going to come in here and he's going to change everything. I don't know anything about that. I'm just trusting and hoping that the Sean McVay effect will kind of rub off on him and help him to do what he needs to do in order to be a successful offensive coordinator. But I need you all to go and listen to go and watch the show on YouTube and listen to the podcast, because I need you all to hear the one person who I think is going to help CJ get familiar with this Houston Texans offense, this new offense that's about to be implemented. So yeah, how y'all been, man? I ain't got a chance to really talk to y'all. Hold on for a second. I got to put out this tweet because I'm going to talk about two people. I'm going to talk about two people, and I want them to know that I'm going to talk about them. Give me 1 second. I'm just letting them know. Talk about you all's discussion today. Just wanted to give you all. I don't like talking behind people's backs, so I want to make sure that they know that I'm going to discuss what they were discussing today. It's happy hour. What you got in there? Hey, what's up, Clark? Hey, Larry, what's up, Larry? Huh? Larry, you already know. So look, I had to send a text. I had to send a tweet because Houston Stressings, right? Houston Stressings. Why did he do that? I need to make sure I figure out how to do that. Hold on for a second, because I need to get all the way to the beginning. Okay, so y'all give me a second, because I forgot that this is what I could do. Sarge, is that apple juice? You think it's apple juice? Hold on. All right, y'all give me a second, y'all, because I mean, this is the happy hour, so y'all know there is like is something that we do. You know, there is a format. I mean, if you want to call it that, but there isn't a format. So let me just go and find this thing. Here we go. All right, we're going to walk through this timeline because, and you know, so the two people that I'm about to talk about, right? The two people that I'm about to talk about is Houston Stressings, who has a great platform. I was on his show a couple of weeks ago, had a great time being on his show. And John Crumpler, who used to be with Texans Wire, him and I used to be colleagues over at Texans Wire back when our guy Mark was alive. And so so they had a very good conversation going on, and Stressings made sure that he let the people know that it was just friendly banter between the two, right? I'm going to share this in a second. And the reason why is because both of them have valid points, right? Both of them have valid points. And I want you all to see it so you can see and see what's being said. But both of them have valid points, and I think I think it's something that we should talk about. So let me share the screen, share the screen, share the screen. All right, so let me start this from the beginning.
Rodney Harrison.
Hold on.
But all I tried to do was put the players in position to do what they could do. And what Tom Brady did was different than what Matt Castle did. And was different than what, Cam did. Yeah. And, you just try to play to the players' strengths. And Rodney Harrison was the second greatest defensive player I coached behind Taylor. But he's different than Devin McCourty. They're both great players. You try to let them do what they can do and let them play the game to their strengths. And I think that's your job as a coach, is to get the team prepared to play and then put them in a position where they got a fair fight. And if we try to run off tackle, strong safety blitz all day, that's just bad coaching, and we can't win. And good players can't overcome bad coaching. Good players got to have an opportunity to go out there and play. And I just want to make sure that I would give them that opportunity as a coach, whether that was a position coach or as a head coach. Didn't matter.
So that was Bill Belichick, current head coach of North Carolina men's football team, former NFL head coach for the New England Patriots, by far one of the best coaches to ever coach a game, going to go down as one of the top 5 NFL coaches ever, right? And side note, it's kind of sad to see Bill got a hold to he got him some young, what, and got whipped. Like, they're talking about now that Bill may be getting married to this young lady. Now listen, let me tell you something, y'all. Hold on, I gotta take another drink. Hold on. Now this may be Texas happy hour / buzzed and petty, which, by the way, it's about to start after dark. Now that I got this whole studio set up, it's about to be buzzed and petty after dark for real. Listen, Bill, love who you love, man. Love who you love. I ain't tripping on that. All right, but God dang, Bill, you went and got your. What is that young lady doing to you, Bill? That got your head on. I never thought I'd see Bill Belichick get caught up like this. Like, Bill Belichick is caught up for real. I don't know. Hey, wait. Hey, hold on for a second. Let me reach out to this. So you see where it says, where Stresson says, try to play the game to player strength. Good players can't overcome bad coaches. Sentiments that D'Amico Ryans and Nick Caley are echoing. Texans offense will easily be top 10 next year, right? So then John Crumpler put easily, and then he put, yes, last year's coaching and scheme was that bad. It wasn't CJ Stroud sophomore slump. It was Bobby Slowick sophomore slump. Okay. Hold on, I got to write that down. Right. So then he says, John says, I'm as anti-Slowick as there is. Love the Nick Caley hire. I think Caley can be a superstar and it still might be the 14th best offense. The line is bad. They don't have the offensive line talent for a dominant as much as functional run game that extends to protection as well. Stresson says he disagrees. We have the weapons to spread it out and help the offensive line out in the run game. We also ran zone, which is a terrible fit for our entire offensive line all year, and thrived a few times. We ran half-ass gap concepts. Crumpler responds, again, I'm very, very familiar with the problems that plagued the offense last year. I still think above the league average offense would be a huge success for Caley. Stroud is the greatest. Stroud is the great elevator. Can't rule out a top 10 unit, but will require some crazy offensive line development. Stresson's respond. The entire point I'm making and what the Houston Texans front office is telling you is that it wasn't a personnel issue, but rather coaching. Hold on, because I meant to write that down. And now I see it, personnel and coaching. Was. Right? He says, but rather coaching and scheme issue. So no, it's not. So No, it's not crazy development. Very little of the past protection struggles as a whole were physical, but rather mental. So this whole our line sucks argument without seeing them in an actual functioning operation. No Slowick and Strausser guys were being told different assignments by different coaches. Wait, no Slowick and Strausser guys were being told different assignments by different coaches. Hold on, different assignments because I want to address that. And one voice is shallow to me. No reason to suspect the offensive line won't be in the least marginally better, and wide receiver room got better with a ton of more depth, right? So hold on, let me see. So okay, all right. So we see that, right? So we see that, right? And before I get into it, let me get back to what I was saying about Bill Belichick. Hold on one second, y'all. Let me read these comments though. Hold on. I called Bill Belichick and offered the 20th. Hold on, wait. Swap with his girlfriend, waiting for a response. Rodney Harrison, the second best player he coached ever behind Lawrence Taylor. Wow. What's up, Alexis? That explosive kitty cat. Hey. Oh, Bill is a college football. Oh, Bill walking through the rainforest. Oh, Bill's titties are bigger than his girlfriend's. Crazy storyline. Bill Belichick and Travis Hunters. What? Damn it, Bobby. Stats suggest 10th ranked offense entirely possible. Okay. So, all right. So here's my thing, right? Before I get to to what Stressings and Crumpler was talking about. Hey man, look, Bill. You know what Bill reminds me of? Y'all know who Bill reminds me of? Y'all remember? Wait, it was Friday. Then it was next Friday. Hey, Friday after next is when they was getting robbed by Ricky Smiley as Santa Claus, right? Is that the one? Is that the one where? Hold on one second. I still got to get used to this. Hey, look. So it's Friday after next. It's Friday, next Friday, Friday after next. Hey, that's the one that had when they had the party for the rent and they had Miss Pearly. Is that right? That's the one that had Miss Tell Your Fine Daddy. I said, that one, right? With Day Day in it? Not Day Day. I can't think of what his anyway. Which Friday was that when Mike Epps character Day Day said they were talking about having the strippers and he was like, I'm sorry, exotic dancers, and he was like, they said they gonna do something a little strange for some change. One said she's gonna from the back. I ain't never had that before. I'm trying to see what that be like. I'm trying to join on another, right? Is that what happened to Bill? Is that what happened to Bill? Because something just ain't right. Like something just ain't right. And at Bill's age, right? Listen. Bill ain't got no sponsorship from no male enhancement. Wait a minute. Wait, whoa. Hold on 1 second. Ain't no way Bill just laying it down in the bedroom like that, just natural. No possible way. The only way I can see that if Bill is out there ayahuasca. Oh, Bill and Aaron Rodgers sitting in the dark with a nightlight on. Bill, how you get yourself caught up like that? And now you caught up for real. And yeah, you going on this media tour to defend her. And I get it, Bill. Hey, I get it. Let me tell you something, Bill. Let me tell you something. I don't think there's a man alive that can say he ain't never ran into something that just made him go, wow. I don't know, Bill. I mean, I get it. And I understand. You know, and there's a huge. What did you expect, Bill? What's it like a 50-year age gap between y'all? I'm not here to judge you, Bill, about who you fall in love with. I ain't here. Like, wouldn't have been let me just say that right now. Can't be my daughter or my granddaughter, because then that means that I probably never talk to my daughter or my granddaughter again. Because me and you gonna have a conversation, Bill, about what the you doing, bruh? You ain't got no women your age. Get on farmers, bumble.com or whatever it is, farmersfallinlove.com, or don't y'all got a like a secret you ain't got none of the chicks you used to talk to back in the day? What? No, we're not doing that, Bill. It couldn't be mine. Now, whoever it is, that's on them. And what I mean by couldn't be mine, like, I'm gonna say something. If that means that I ain't gonna I wouldn't talk to like my granddaughter, my daughter anymore, whatever the case may be, I'd be like, I'm cool with that. I don't understand, but I'm gonna say what I gotta say. And then after that, hey, right? You would think that his old buddy would be able to help him out, right? Texas Tangents, what you drinking today, man? You drinking something too, right? Definitely no craft knows a place. All right. That ain't what y'all came in for. Let's get into the Texans happy hour. I'm your host, Big Sarge. I guess I gotta, get some order back in here. All right, so Stressins and Crumpler, right? Stressins, excuse me, and Crumpler. So on one hand, Stressins is saying that the reason why the offense looked as bad as it did last year was because of Bobby Sloak and Chris Strausser. And it wasn't a personnel thing, right? It wasn't personnel. It was more of coaching, right? It wasn't personnel. It was more of coaching and the schemes that they were, the blocking schemes and the way that they were running. I mean, the way that they were running, blocking, or whatever the case may be. So Stressins is saying it's not, apparently I'm missing a lot by not having a Twitter. Stressins is saying that it was a personnel issue and a coaching issue last season. Crumpler is saying that while that is true, the offensive line was also bad as far as talent wise, and he doesn't see that he doesn't see anything that they've done to really get themselves better outside of hiring a new offensive coordinator and getting and promoting Cole Popovich after they fired Chris Strausser, promoting Cole Popovich to the offensive line coach, right? And so he doesn't see the offense. Hold on. He says, I think Kaylee can be a superstar and it still might be the 14th best offense. This is what Crumpler is telling Stressins. The line is bad. They don't have the offensive line talent for a dominant as much as functional run game that extends to protection as well. And then that's when Stressins says he disagrees. We have the weapons to spread it out and help the offensive line out in the run game, which we also run zone. We also ran zone, which is terrible fit. Okay, so you know what it is? This is the thing, right? This is the thing. It's 6 in one hand, half a dozen in the other. There were at least 4 players in the NFL who got their only sack of the season off stride. Wow. That I did not know. So it's 6 in one hand, half a dozen in the other, right? And the reason why I say that is because what Stressins is saying, right? What Stressins is saying is true. It's true. And I've talked about that twice today. About the offensive scheme was bad in year 2, right? The offensive scheme that Bobby Sloak ran was bad in year 2. And then they started to run these long developing plays and these long developing route concepts, and which left them wide open to Blue Chew Road with the daily run of Mentee Clinic. But it left them wide open to being vulnerable to delayed blitz and line stunts. And we've seen that a lot. Just like I said earlier today, the NFL is a copycat league. And as soon as they seen that the Houston Texans could not stop a delayed blitz or offensive line stunts, every team just did that to them, and they did it more and more as the season went on. And that had to do a lot with the play calling of Bobby and the protections that Strausser was trying to implement. Told you all on this show. I've told you on Sports Talk with Big Sarge. I told you on the former show that I was on. I told you one of the things that divided the offensive line room from what I was told was Cole Popovich came to Strausser early and said, "Hey, I know how to fix this. I know how to fix the offensive line issues as far as us being beat by the stunts and delayed blitzes. I know how to fix this." And Chris Strausser still wanted to do it his way. The problem is the players, right? The offensive line is hearing this, and the offensive line is like, "Yo, Cole Popovich and what he's saying is right. He's right. He's right in saying that. And what he's saying is how we can fix it." But Strausser controls the playing time. Strausser controls who's on the field. Strausser controls who's going to be in the game. And so now you got the offensive lineman sitting back and saying, he's right. Popovich is right, but I want to stay playing. So I got to do what he says. I got to do what Strausser says because he's the line coach. Cole is just the assistant, which brought about all of the chatter. And I told you all this. I keep saying I told you all this before because I'm just reiterating, right? I'm reiterating that you all have heard this before, and I don't want to sound like a broken record, but you've heard this before where I said that was one of the reasons why you kept hearing one voice this offseason, where D'Amico kept saying, I need one voice. I need one voice. I need one voice in these rooms. In the defensive meetings, there's one voice. In the offensive meeting, there's one voice. When you start breaking down these position groups, Bill Davis, the linebackers coach, he runs that until D'Amico comes in, and then it's D'Amico's voice. Matt Burke, right? But Dino Vasso runs his room. Stephen Adegoji, he runs his, like Rod Wright. Like there's one voice in a lot of these rooms, and it just was a disagreement in the rooms in that offensive line room. Like that's where the biggest issue came about. That's why I told you all who was jumping on Laramie Tunsil. Then y'all went on this whole little tangent. And that's not a you Texas tangent, but y'all went on this whole little tangent about Sarge is just taking up for Laramie Tunsil. Sarge is he's so close with Laramie Tunsil that he's taking up for him. And I said, no, Laramie Tunsil is a player, not a coach. He can say what he needs to say, but these are the coaches. And you all wanted him to have a different leadership style. Well, what the hell you wanted him to lead in a dysfunctional situation? Can somebody please explain that to me? In a dysfunctional situation, how is it that you want this guy to make sure everything right when the coaches can't even get along? And then you got a coach backdooring and going to talk to the general manager about what's going on in the room. So, in the 6-1 hand, Stressens is right. He's right. There was a coaching issue. There was a scheme issue. There was the elephant in the room. And why is Chris Strausser still here, knowing that he should have been fired mid-season? There was a huge discrepancy inside of the room, right? That's in the 6 in the one hand with stressings. But in the half a dozen in the other, in what Crumpler is saying, Crumpler's right too. Because, I mean, I get it. We're talking about the coaching schemes from last year. We're talking about the dysfunction of the offensive line room. But, like, those players had a lot to do with not getting the job done too. There was a lot of times that it didn't have nothing to do with what play was called, what blocking scheme was called, whatever. Sometimes some of those players just got beat. They just got beat. And sometimes they just look bad. And so, okay, so what Crumpler is saying in this half a dozen in the other hand is that, so you get rid of Laramie Tunsil, you get rid of Shaq Mason, you get rid of Kenyon Green. You still have Titus Howard, right? Who's the big vet. We talked about that. I said, y'all make sure y'all go back and listen to that podcast where I said that that Titus Howard has to be the captain of the room. He has to get a captain. He has to be the leader in that room. But now you just got Titus Howard, who to me is the only staple on the line. Like, we're for sure that Titus is the only player that's going to be on that, the only player that is going to have a position on that line. Without a shadow of a doubt, Titus will be playing somewhere, whether it's right tackle, whether it's left guard. He's going to be on the he's going to be on in the game. Where everything else gets mucky and where Crumpler is right is, so you got rid of those guys. We know that you're going to have Titus, but then you need to know, okay, so what are you going to get from a second-year Blake Fisher? What are you going to get from a third year for Juice Scruggs? What are you going to get from Jared Patterson? What are you going to get from these guys? Are you depending on a rookie in Ariante Ursery to protect your franchise quarterback's blind side? I understand that he was the Big Ten offensive lineman of the year, but what are you going to get for? Well, what are you going to get from him? A rookie that's going to be going up against some pretty good competition that the Texans are playing this year. So there's a lot of uncertainty, right? There's a lot of uncertainty just with those players. And then when you look at the free agent additions with Cam Robinson and with Trent Brown and with Ed Ingram, like, what Crumpler is saying is you didn't go out and get super talent to replace what you said was bad talent. Like, I'm going to be honest with you. They didn't go out and get anybody that I think is a better left tackle than Laramie Tunsil. You didn't. You probably went out and got somebody better than Kenyon Green. You probably got somebody better than Shaq Mason. I get it. But what Crumpler is saying, right? What Crumpler is saying in this, what I say, 6 in one hand and it's half a dozen in the other, is that like Nick Caley's offensive scheme is going to have to be so great that you're going to be able to make up for some of that, right? Because Cam Robinson, when he was with the Jacksonville Jaguars, they traded him for a reason. And then he got to Minnesota and he was playing good, but towards the end of the season, wasn't playing that good. And I said this before, if you're going to start him at left tackle in the first game against the Rams, he got to go up against Jared Verse, who did him pretty bad in the playoff game. Jared Verse did him bad. And so there's still some things that has to be shown through training camp for Robinson. Then you look at Laken Tomlinson, right? He's coming back. I didn't think I even mentioned it, but he's been in the league for a very long time, but I think that he sustained some injuries. Cam Robinson sustained some injuries early on in his career, but Laken Tomlinson, he's been around, but like, you're ready to insert him on the line, and maybe, listen, sometimes a new place will help these players, play better. I'm not here to dog them out because I have not seen them play for the Houston Texans yet. We're only going by what we've seen in the past, right? Trent Brown, Ed Ingram, his coach came out and said, I benched him for ineffectiveness. Go look. Kevin O'Connell said, we decided to go with someone else. That's coach speak for he wasn't getting the job done. You don't believe me? Tell me where you heard that before. Oh, we decided to go a different route during the game when we replaced Kenyon Green with Patterson. You heard that before? Oh, we decided to go, we decided to try something new by moving Titus from right tackle to left guard, even though Kenyon was healthy, even though hey, what's the other Green's name? I can't think of the other guy, because it was Kenyon Green and Kendrick Green. He was healthy. And then they had another one or two players that were healthy enough to play left guard. But what did they say? We're going to use Titus. We're going to try something different. That's what happened. If I'm not mistaken, that happened in week 10. And the only reason they waited for week 10 to replace Ed Ingram was because the other guy was hurt, if I'm not mistaken. So what Crumpler is saying is that the additions that the Houston Texans made in the offseason, as far as the offensive line is concerned, isn't head and shoulders above everything else. Doesn't blow you away and say, oh, now we're looking at a top 10 offense. Now, going back to the 6 in one hand and what Stressens was saying, Stressens and I are on the same page when it comes to this. I've said this on numerous occasions before the draft. Hey, look, and that's because before the draft, they had made a lot of these moves in free agency in the offseason, right? And I said, okay, so if you're going to get these players, right? If you're going to get these players, right, that may or may not be as effective as you need them to be, then you got to go out and you got to get some more skilled players at the wide. You got to get some more wide receivers. You got to get some more depth at your skill positions, right? You're gonna have to get more depth at your skill positions. You're gonna have to go out and get a wide receiver too, and that's what they did. They went out and got a wide receiver too, and I said, okay, so now you go out because you have to. And I was thinking that the Texans were going to take Matthew Golden. I thought that that's who they were going to get to go in number 2, right? And they went out and they traded for. They went out and got Christian Kirk from Jacksonville. And so, but Christian Kirk to me is not a true number 2 wide receiver. I think that that's what Jaden Higgins is going to be. And so now you put Higgins over there. You got Christian Kirk. You got Jalen Noel who can come in and play the slot. So now what the whole mindset for me, right? And I've never been an offensive coordinator. I've never been a head coach in the NFL. I've only played one on Madden. The mindset should be just like what Stresson said and just like what I was saying leading up to the draft. If you get the ball out of CJ's hands fast enough, you can make up for the inefficiencies of the offensive line. Y'all hold on for a second. Hold on. Who said that? Who said Kirk is a number 2? Did I miss something up here? Because I'm gonna go back into the what you call it, but no, I never said Kirk is a number 2. Who said that, AD? So I was saying you got to get the ball out of CJ's hands fast enough. You got to start calling these plays that are quicker than what Bobby Slowick was calling last season. So you get the ball out of CJ's hands quicker. Now, along with Cole Popovich, who I think is a very good offensive line coach. There are a lot of reviews from him. A number 2 wide receiver is your second best wide receiver, not a certain position. Hold on. What am I missing? Like, catch me up, AD, because I don't know. I don't know what I'm missing. Are you out your mind? You got to be out of your mind. Hold on for a second, y'all. First of all, let me hit this cup. Y'all give me a second. Give me 1 second. Oh, hey, I do like I meant to tell you, I do like what you call out of Minnesota. I don't know if he's gonna make the team or not. He may probably may sign him. I mean, they probably gonna put him on the practice squad. But Daniel Jackson, wide receiver out of Minnesota, I like him. I like him a lot. I like him a lot. I can't wait to talk to him. All right, let's see. Where are we at? La 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 la. Here we go, AD. Let's see. Let's look at your true number 2 wide receiver. La 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 la. I ain't even changed his picture yet. So in the last 2 years, he's played a total of 20 games. 20. 20 AD. 20 games, bro. 20. Look at this. 2023. Look how many games he missed. 2024. Look how many games he's missed. He's going into his 8th season. Hold on. I'm not, listen. I'm not saying that. Hold on, Grandma. Hold on. I'm not saying that Christian Kirk is not good. Don't get me wrong. Let's not get that let's not get that twisted. I'm not saying that Christian Kirk isn't good. I'm not saying that Christian Kirk doesn't have a little something still left in the tank. All I'm telling you is that if Christian Kirk lines up on the field, the defensive coordinators ain't saying, "Oh, let's make sure that we got somebody. Let's make sure that we got great coverage on Christian Kirk." And like, we're gonna put you over there. We're gonna make Christian Kirk prove it to us. And let's just roll. Let's just roll this on over to over to Nico. Let's double Nico, right? And make Christian Kirk prove it to us. I don't think that he's don't get me wrong. I still think he's a viable option. I still think he's a viable option in the offense. I'm going to be honest with you. I think that even as a rookie, that Jaden Higgins at 6'4", 215 pounds, I still think he's the number 2 option. Now, he's going to take his bumps and bruises, and I know that somebody's going to clip this up and say, there's some people gonna clip this up and say, Sarge said, no, I'm not saying that Jaden Higgins is going to blow people away. But I believe that, well, what I believe is that Nick Caley was able to watch and see what Sean McVay was able to do with Pika Nakua and certain. Okay, y'all gonna tell me y'all knew that Pika Nakua was gonna be who he was? They don't lie. Yeah, because y'all drunk and y'all on edibles if you lie. You had no clue what Pika Nakua was going to do. You did not know that he was going to be this guy. I'm just saying. I mean, maybe, Nick Caley picked up some stuff and said, "Hey, I know how to make, I can make Jaden Higgins into a Pika Nakua." I'm just saying. Hold on, Tay. I'm here for this. Hold on, let me take a drink. Just because you have the physical attributes doesn't mean you're actually good. Just look at Jared Wayne. So you think Jared Wayne and Jaden Higgins are the same person? I'm asking. Do you think that Jared Wayne and Jaden Higgins, do you think that I mentioned Jaden Higgins' physical attributes and makeup just to say, oh, just because he's that tall and that weight that he's going to be? Are you telling me that Higgins, AD, I'm about to put you out of here for real. Higgins may be Jared Wayne? I'm done. Hold on for a second. Y'all give me a second. Now I done got hot. That cowboy hat got hot. Now, do I think that Jaden Higgins is going to be Jared Wayne? No, but I also don't think that Jared Wayne is a bad wide receiver. You know who else said that? Hold on for a second. Y'all give me a second. Give me 1 second. Just 1 second. Give me 1 second. This ain't a formal show. Where is it? I gotta find it. I'll find it. I'm gonna find it. I won't mention it until I want to put it out. Oh man! Oh man! Hold on, did I? Hold on, where you go, Grandpa? Oh, you say the whole chat is on edibles. So back to what I was saying, right? Back to what I was saying. Jared Wayne. I feel like Jared Wayne is a good wide receiver. I'm not saying he's a number 2 wide receiver, but I'm going to look for it because there is that it's out there somewhere. I know because I've seen it where one of your favorite defensive backs said that Jared Wayne was a very good wide receiver. And he's one of the hardest guys to hold in practice. I'm just saying it's out there. I don't know. I'm gonna find it. So getting back to what I was saying, 6 in one hand. What Stressens is saying, it was a personnel issue, it was a coaching issue, it was a scheme issue. 6 in one hand, half a dozen in the other, in what Crumpler's saying, that it was talent too. And they didn't go out and get talent that you're going to look at and you're just going to say, wow, you know what? That's an upgrade, right? That's an upgrade. I mean, let's just I'm going to ask this question, right? I'm not going to even talk about, I'm not going to even compare Laramie Tunsil and Cam Robinson. Let's just go ahead and push him to the side, right? Just push him to the side. Even Shaq Mason, right? Even Shaq Mason. Y'all think Ed Ingram is better than Shaq Mason? I'm asking. I'm not saying that he is. I'm asking a question because you know how some of y'all interpret things, right? You know how some of you all comprehend things. I'm asking, do you think that Ed Ingram is better than Shaq Mason? Then why was he benched for ineffectiveness? Like y'all know that, right? Y'all know he was benched, right? And I'm not taking no shots at Ed Ingram. I'm not. I'm just telling you the facts. I'm just telling you the facts. Do I think that Ed Ingram is better than Shaq Mason? I don't know. I ain't seen Ed Ingram in this system. I ain't seen Laken Tomlinson in this system. Haven't seen Cam Robinson in this system. But if we're just doing what we normally do and we're projecting and we're using it based off of the past, I mean, think about it. Last season, we pretty much knew for a definitive that what the Texans were getting in Azeez Al-Shaair. We knew that, right? We knew what they were getting in Azeez. We knew what they were getting in Danielle Hunter. We knew what they were getting in Stephon Diggs. We knew what they were getting in Joe Mixon. Hell, we even knew what they was getting in Danico Autry once he was able to get back on the field. We know what we know what they're getting in CJ Gardner-Johnson, right? And so last year, there was no conversations like this about, well, maybe or if they can. It wasn't these conversations last year. Clip of Kirk getting hurt last season. Where that's at? Shaq Mason like he didn't care about off-season training. But last season, with the free agency that they had, you knew exactly what you were getting with those players. There's no possible way that you could tell me right now, outside of CJ Gardner-Johnson, or CD number 8, once he takes it from John Mechie, not take it, once he pays for it from John Mechie. Like when you know you're getting a Super Bowl winning, Super Bowl caliber safety. Like, but what else are you getting in those other off-season additions? I'm gonna even say this: you know what you're getting in Christian Kirk. It's the one position group that I have been talking about ad nauseum on this show, on the Sports Talk with Big Sarge show, on and on the former show that I was on. I don't know. It's too many uncertainties at that offensive line position. And that's all that I interpreted, right? Let me make sure I say that. That's all I interpreted as Crumpler saying, right? Could the offense be top 10? It could be. But if we're looking at it right now, we're on the outside looking at it with no games being played, just looking at it and looking at it on paper, you're saying to yourself, I mean, it could be, but then again, it could be 19th. It could. It could be 19th. It could be 10. It could be 19. That's the uncertainty of what I interpret Crumpler as saying. He isn't saying Nick Caley is a bad offensive coordinator. He isn't saying that CJ can't elevate this team and this offense to be what it needs to be. He's saying that the uncertainty of what the offensive line is going to be is what's making him hesitant to say that they're going to be a top 10 offense. That's what I interpret Crumpler to say. And I'm not saying he's wrong. He's not wrong. I'm also not saying that Stressens isn't wrong. I'm not saying Stressens wrong. He has a point too. And his point of new play calling, new offensive line coach, new run scheme, new blocking scheme could help change all of that and put that offense and keep that offense in top 10. Put them in the top 10, keep them in the top 10. If they all stay healthy. If they stay healthy throughout the year, I see what Stressens is saying too, and he's not wrong. I think the problem came in that was a word. I think the word that Stressens used is what caused Crumpler to say what he said. And Stressens said easy or easily. Hold on, let me just pull it up. He said, Texas offense will easily be top 10 next year. And that's when Crumpler responded, easily. And I'm going to be honest with you. I'm kind of like, that word is what probably would have made me respond like how Crumpler responded. I don't want to say easily, because when you look at when you're saying top 10 offenses, right? You're saying that they're going to have the same offense as like the Baltimore Ravens, the Buffalo Bills, the Baltimore Ravens, the Buffalo Bills, the Cincinnati Bengals. The Chargers are going to have a top 10 offense. I'm not saying the Chargers are going to have a top 10. Side note, hold on. Let me write that down because I don't want to forget. I said Bengals. I didn't say Chiefs, but I'm going to say I don't know if the Chiefs going to have a top 10. But I said Bills, Ravens, Chargers, and Bengals right now, right? Right now. Side note, can we have a conversation? Can hey, wait a minute. Hold on. You said, hold on. Hold on. You said it wasn't gonna be no H-Town rundown tonight. You said you was coming, you was doing it next week. You said that. But since you are, I will be there because I know you're gonna talk about me, and I will definitely be there because I need to hear what you're gonna say. So hold on, let me pull this up. Oh, let me. I was gonna do a side note. Hey, why everybody is talking about the Chiefs? I mean the Chargers. Why is everybody talking about how great the Chargers team is going to be? I don't think they're going to be great as a team. I think that their offense is going to be good, and they always have a good. Hey, look, I ain't got nothing against Herbert. I think that Herbert is a very good regular season quarterback, so that's why I have them as a top 10. Right? I don't know why everybody is saying that the Chargers are going to be better than the Texans this year. Like, am I missing something? Am I like, tell me if I'm missing something? Am I missing something? Because I don't think that the Chargers are a better team than the Houston Texans. And every time I look around, they got the Chargers above the Texans. And I'm saying, who in the hell is doing this? I know I wasn't the only one. I know I wasn't the only one that watched the Texans beat the dog shit out of the Chargers in the playoffs. Playoffs? How many? You know what? Don't worry about it. Sarge got it right here. Hold on. Hold on. Sarge got it right here. Here we go. 32-12. 32-12. Justin Herbert threw 4 interceptions. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? I don't understand. I do believe that the Chargers will have a good offense. I don't believe that the Chargers are a better team than the Houston Texans. Why do these people keep doing? It's like I'm saying to myself, y'all, listen, I got way more faith in CJ Stroud than I do Justin Herbert. Because I think that Justin Herbert shrinks. I think that he shrinks when the bigger the game, the further he shrinks. Hey, see? Same thing I said, Bo Diggity, 713. The Chargers hype is more so on the back of Harbaugh, but Herbert always chokes in the playoffs. And so I'm like, what? So let me get back to what I was really talking about. Let me see. So when I'm just looking at these offenses, right? Just these offenses. Like I said, Buffalo. I think that Buffalo has a top 10 offense. The Ravens have a top 10 offense. The Bengals have a top 10 offense. The Chiefs have a bottom 10, maybe 11. I feel like the Broncos are going to have a top 10 offense this year. We know that the Eagles have a top 10 offense. The Commanders have a top 10 offense. The Lions have a top 10 offense. Vikings, we don't really know because they're going to be playing basically a rookie quarterback. The Packers have a top 10 offense. I don't want to say Tampa Bay just yet. Carolina, they not there yet. And then in the NFC West, I mean, you would like to think that the 49ers do because they're going to pay all that money. But, I mean, out of those teams, y'all tell me, where do the Texans fit in that top 10 as they're currently constructed right now? Who am I? A quiet, mousy person now. Sarah, so you want Sarge's offensive line predictions, right? So if it was me, right? If it's me, this is just Sarge and Sarge alone, Sarah. If it's just me, right? I'm putting Blake Fisher right tackle. I'm putting Juice Scruggs at right guard. I'm putting Jared Patterson at center. I'm putting. See, this is where it gets funny for me. Because, and I may be the only one who thinks about this, right? I'm going to be honest with you. Left guard is where it gets tricky for me, Sarah. Left guard is where it gets tricky for me. And the reason why it gets tricky for me is because everybody wants to insert Titus Howard right there in the left guard. I can't be the only one that remembered that Titus has also played left tackle. And when he played left tackle, he wasn't a bad left. He wasn't bad at left tackle. If you're asking me, Titus Howard or Cam Robinson, I would say Titus, and then I would have to figure out who's going to play guard. The problem is Cam Robinson can't play anywhere but left tackle. He's not interchangeable. Left tackle is his position. That's it. Left tackle is his position. He can't play anywhere else. So you can't justify giving him all that money if you're not going to play him at the left tackle position. So by default, I got to put Cam Robinson there, and then I have to put Titus at left guard. And so that's Fisher, Scruggs, Patterson, Howard, and Cam Robinson. Right? Because Cam Robinson, he's just a left tackle. That's it. He's a left tackle. I think that you would even have a better chance of using Ariante Ursery as an interior offensive lineman than you would Cam Robinson, of course. And so I'm putting Cam Robinson at the left tackle position, but I'm also making sure that I'm telling Cole Popovich, hey, I need Ariante ready as soon as you can have him ready. Just like what D'Amico said. Everybody went crazy over what D'Amico said after the rookie minicamp. Like, we draft these guys to play right now. Yeah, he told me that exact same thing last year. Like, why are y'all going crazy over what he said this year when he said the exact same thing about the rookies last year? I have the receipts. I have the receipts. Ray is now playing inside at 6'7". Hey, listen. And hey, wait, hold on, though. Hold on, Larry. Hold on. Wait, hold on. I got to look at something. Cause hold on, that ain't what I'm trying to do. What is this? Oh, what are we doing here? Oh my God. Hey, I can't wait. Hey, y'all, I'm gonna have DJ BNMA on tomorrow's podcast. So Larry, you said Ariante is not playing inside at 6'7". And I just double checked. How big was Mekhi Becton? Didn't he play guard last year for the Eagles? No, I'm asking. And Larry, you know this ain't no shot at you, but I'm asking. I thought Mekhi Becton played right guard for the Philadelphia Eagles last year, right? Ain't he 6'7"? I'm just saying, Larry. I don't know. I'm not saying you can't try. It was a lot of people that wanted Becton to come here. Remember, they wanted the Texans to sign Becton here. He's a big dude. He played interior offensive lineman. It's one of the reasons why I asked Ariante that. That's why I asked him if they asked you to play on the inside, would you do it? And what did he say? I'll play anywhere they need me to play. And he said, I'll play wherever they need me to play on the line. So, but guess what he played in New York? Yeah, I get it. No, don't get me wrong. I get it, Larry. I'm just saying that he was very successful in playing it last year with the Eagles. And I know that the Eagles offensive line coach is a whole different animal. He's the best offensive line coach in the league. We know that. And so, but from what I'm hearing, man, Cole Popovich is gonna have these guys ready, man. I heard that he is really, really that guy when it comes to offensive line. I heard he really knows what he's doing. And so, as I digress and as I get ready to get up out of here, because I gotta go make my wife dinner. Right, it's time for dinner. As I get ready to get off this, and I thank you all for being on the I thank you all for coming to the happy hour. I have been talking for 3 shows today. Y'all have made me proud, and I'm working, y'all. I'm working, I'm building, I'm working and I'm building, and I'm working and I'm building. And so to go back to what I was saying, hey, Stressings, you're right. Hey, Crumpler, you're right. Now, on the outside looking in, I love seeing the discourse, right? The back and the forth. And I know you said it was friendly and that was cool, but I just like seeing the go on the back in a respectful manner, though, right? It wasn't nothing malicious. It was nothing salacious. It was just, what time is the podcast and Emory platform? What's the Emory platform? I don't know. I can't get up out of here yet. Y'all give me a couple of minutes. Fan hype for Golden. See, this is why I eject sometimes out of the thing. I wanted Golden. I don't know what everybody else wanted. A number is someone that can be relied on. Yup. I'm glad the Texans don't agree with AD. Yeah, Daniel Jackson. I like Daniel Jackson. Rest of the NFL making fun of the Titans and Jags still, even though they have Cam Ward and Travis Hunter to point their fan bases, make media about it. It is fantastic. Same amount as Jimmy Ward. Did you see what I said about Jimmy Ward? Mm-hmm. So, let me see. I'm not putting that up there. Sorry, just on Justin Watson with D'Amico. Not yet. I'm gonna be honest with you. D'Amico's seen more of Justin Watson than I have. I've only seen Justin Watson when he's with the Chiefs. D'Amico's seen him more. I don't know. I will definitely keep you all updated on Justin Watson throughout training camp and what I see starting next week. That's not what I said, AD. That's not what I said. I like Christian Kirk. As a matter of fact, I got an opportunity to speak to Christian Kirk a couple of weeks ago at the charity golf tournament. I like Christian Kirk. I'm a fan of Christian Kirk. I've been watching Christian Kirk since he was at A&M. Because if I'm not mistaken, the year that he got to A&M, they were able to. What's the black coach? What's Omar Epps' junior name? The coach Sumlin. Because that year Sumlin was able to get Christian Kirk and they was able to get the quarterback, and they were the number 1 and 2 players overall coming out of Arizona. And the quarterback who ended up transferring was the number 1. He ended up playing for the Panthers, if I'm not mistaken. But he was the number 1 quarterback in the state of Arizona, and Christian Kirk was the number 1 wide receiver athlete coming out of Arizona. And they both went to A&M at the same time. And then Christian Kirk went to Arizona Cardinals, right? And after he left the Cardinals, he went to the Jags. And so, no, I'm a fan of Christian Kirk. Don't get it wrong. I just think that between injuries and over time, this time don't wait for nobody. So, I'm just saying. I mean, he's a wide receiver that's going into his 8th season, and what is the longevity of a top wide receiver? Everybody don't be at that position and be at their peak for that amount of time. AD, that's all I'm saying. Everybody ain't Andre Johnson. Hell, everybody ain't even D-Hop. So let me see what else. Hold on for a second. All I'm saying is that size and structure don't necessarily constitute you being great. I didn't say Higgins was going to be great. I didn't say that, Tate. I did not say he was going to be great. I just said I think that he's number 2 right now. So let me see. What else? Sarah, I'm gonna have to go back and send that to me on Twitter so I can repost it. Ed Ingram can touch a good Shaq, but Shaq must have really pissed off D'Amico to be getting paid not to play. Sheesh. The offensive line moves were more so a culture change to shake up and find guys that want to work and not just lean on the past accolades of veteran perks. All right. AD H-Town Rundown is the greatest of all time. All right. Where did AD go? Good. All right. What if Ursu is a better right tackle than Fisher? Then I moved Fisher to left tackle. I seen Fisher play some left tackle last season. You remember that? You remember the Kool-Aid pie? I still got that video. Let's see. Sarge, how confident are you Titus Howard from a scale of 1 to 10? So, Grappa, let me say this, right? And I'm gonna need you to go back if you get an opportunity to listen to my podcast, and or either listen to it or watch it on a Texas Tailgate Talk. Where wait, y'all hold on for a second. Y'all give me a second. Give me 1 second. Hey, I got responsibilities and duties. I'm just letting y'all know. Hey, look, I got things I got to do too. But so, how confident are you on Texas? So, if you get an opportunity and a chance, please go listen to what I said on when I was with Jonathan M. Alexander from the Houston Chronicle, and what I said as far as Titus has to step up this year and be the leader in that room. So, and I feel like he should be a captain this year. He has to step up, but he has to earn it. I didn't say that he should be given to him. He has to earn it. So, Graffa, and I hope I'm saying that right. Please tell me if I'm wrong. Is it Graffa? Graffa? Please tell me if I'm wrong or not. So, I can't give you a definitive answer on a scale from 1 to 10 because I don't know where they're going to put him. And I said that what D'Amico, what Nick, Kaylee, what Cole Popovich should do is decide where they're going to put Titus Howard starting at the beginning of training camp and leave him there. Barring injury, leave him exactly where you want him to be so he can get comfortable playing that position and he doesn't have to keep moving up and down the line and going to different positions. If you're going to put Titus at right tackle, then start him out in the training camp at right tackle and let him get back used to playing right tackle. If you're going to put him at left guard, then start playing him. Don't start at the end of the season and put him at left guard and then expect him to just jump right in and be one of the best left guards in the NFL. No, if you're going to put him at left guard and you want him to play at left guard, then you put him there at training camp and you leave him there and you let him work out all the kinks that he needs to work out in so he can be available to play that position effectively and efficiently once the season starts. But if you're going to keep moving him, then I can't. If you're going to keep moving him, you ask me how confident I am, I'm going to say 4. If they're going to keep moving him. But if they're going to put him in a position and leave him there, I'm going to say 8. Because I know what Titus can do when he's in a position. When he's in his natural position of right tackle, he's very good. That's all I'm saying. Not too complicated. If the O-line is bad this year, D'Amico and Caserio will be on the hot seat. Hey, look, on the former show, that was one of my topics. The time is ticking. I know that was on Sports Talk with Big Sarge, but on the former show, I brought it up too. Hey, the clock is ticking for D'Amico. Like, what if Nick Caley doesn't pan out for 2 seasons? Then you're gonna go and get another offensive coordinator? I don't know if you can have 3 offensive coordinators, especially knowing that you're about to give CJ. Shit, CJ probably get $375 million in a contract. He gonna get a lot of money. So I thank you. I was right. I knew it. I knew I was right. Dalton Schultz getting released. Larry, you got to go back and listen to the happy hour that I did earlier today about the tight ends. If you had to put Titus at guard, would it be right or left? I'm gonna put him at left. It's somewhere he's played before. Kirk got to A&M the same year. A&M kicked 80 preview. Titus played right tackle in college, but his quarterback was left-handed, so he was the blind side protector. Yep, that's exactly right. And he also, Titus played a lot of positions. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. All right, let's see. D'Amico has to prove he knows coaches. Yeah. D'Amico is a lifetime head coach in the H. Oh, I believe that too, Larry. I believe that too. I mean, I believe that. And the reason why I'm saying that the hesitation, the reason why you hear the hesitation, because I do believe it. I know for a fact how much D'Amico is loved inside of NRG Stadium. And I believe that D'Amico, and I know that D'Amico, and I've been told D'Amico is one hell of a coach. I think that what D'Amico learned in his first 2 seasons, with Bobby Slowik, we know what the defense can do. He's going to have to insert himself a little bit more this year on the offensive side of the ball just to make sure that things run more smoothly and make sure that everything is right and where it needs to be. That's exactly how I feel. So, well, y'all heard the little lady. She hungry. She is hungry. And hold on, we are arguably seeing the best head coach in Texans history. Yeah, you're right. You are correct, Mundo. Thank you for joining the Texans Happy Hour. Special shout out to Houston Stressings. Special shout out to John Crumpler. Thank you all for allowing me to bring your Twitter subject onto the show. Hold on, what else we got? My coach. Period. No hot seat. Yep. Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. D'Amico, yeah, for sure. Yeah, special shout out to Houston Stressings, John Crumpler. Hey, make sure that you all tune into the H-Town Rundown show at 8 p.m. I might make a guest appearance on there because I know 80 gonna have something he gonna say about me, and I need to be there to defend myself. Make sure you follow me on the app formerly known as Twitter at Big Sarge Sports with a Z at the end. Follow me on the Tick and the Talk at Big Sarge Media. Make sure you are subscribed to my YouTube channel, Texas Tailgate Talk, all one word, on the YouTube channel and on the podcast, right? You've got to listen to Tuesday's podcast and see if you agree with me that there's one coach that's going to help CJ be successful and get acclimated to this new Nick Caley system. You got to listen, or you got to watch. That's Texas Tailgate Talk, all one word. And make sure you follow me on Instagram at Big Sarge Sports with the Z at the end. Because we do everything for the gram. Thank you all. I appreciate it. If you are subscribed to the Texas Tailgate Talk YouTube channel, Texas Tailgate Talk, all one word, just know this. Y'all are going to start, not only are you going to get exclusive content, you're probably going to get a quick 7 to 10 minutes of a morning show to start your day. Because that's how much I care about y'all. And that's how much I don't mind working because I'm already up. So I want to give you all that show as well. That's exclusive content only on the Texans Tailgate Talk podcast. Big Sarge, I'm out.
Big Sarge.